Hi, welcome to Gene Rants. I'm Gene, and could be a short one today. We'll see. I've promised that in the past, and it hasn't turned out that way. But we're in day 27 of the Schumer shutdown. So it could be 28 by the time you're seeing this. I record them a day ahead of time, but it looks like there could be cracks forming now on the Democrat side, or maybe that's not the right way to put it. The better way to put it might be that they are starting to feel pressure from their own base, from Democrats. And I am talking specifically about what are these guys called? The American Federation of Government Employees. That is the largest, federal employee union. And here is the headline. Largest federal employee union calls on Democrats to end government shutdown. The largest union for federal workers urged Congress on Monday, the day I'm recording this, to pass a clean funding bill to end the government shutdown, undercutting Democrats who are demanding that any deal includes subsidies for people who get their insurance through the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. The move by the American Federation of Government Employees, which is typically a Democratic ally, underscores the difficult spot federal unions find themselves in. Nearly 4 weeks into the shutdown, hundreds of thousands of workers are furloughed and missing paychecks, while some face the possibility of further layoffs by the Trump administration, meaning they could lose their jobs permanently and they won't be called back, some of these employees. The union's new position could put added pressure on Democrats to vote to end the shutdown after a month-long stalemate over government funding in the GOP-controlled Senate. Republicans quickly seized on it to call on Democrats to back down. So maybe we'll see. Remember that the Teamsters if I recall correctly, the leadership of the Teamsters endorsed Kamala Harris in the election, but the rank and file overwhelmingly went for Trump, or the majority of them at least went for Trump. So maybe we'll be seeing pressure from the Teamsters, other Democratic, because this is the whole idea that it's the Democrats who love big government. It's the Republicans who want to reduce the size of government. And as I said in the past, and others have said, Democrats have handed a golden opportunity to Donald Trump, because if the money ain't there, then Trump is going to have to cut spending in some departments, and maybe even permanently, especially when he cuts certain departments or certain funding for various, sex life of honeybees or whatever, that we don't miss those being shut down. So why, in other words, there's essential and non-essential. So why fund non-essential stuff in the first place when we have a deficit? But why bring those non-essential programs back? I just want my tax dollars going mostly for essential stuff. Some stuff I'll support, such as space exploration, things that increase our knowledge. For one reason is because, well, for instance, Teflon came out of non-stick cookware, and it's also used in bearings and other civilian uses, came out of the space program. In other words, inventing things for space exploration. These things, some inventions find their way into the consumer market and benefits all of us. So we benefit from this kind of research. So anyways, the point is that this is the largest federal employees union. There are other unions, but there are other, I understand, welfare payments, 40 million SNAP payments, it's supplemental nutrition for A and P, something like that. I forget which, but it's for it's welfare, it's food for poor people. 40 million are not going to get their SNAP benefits if this government shutdown keeps going on. And there actually has been one, I forget her name, Anna Paulina Luna, she's a Republican representative. She said she's hearing that the Democrats might want to keep this shutdown going through at least through Thanksgiving, which will be, it's another month. So we'll see what happens. But I see a hopeful sign here, because the government, the Republicans are not going to essentially make a $1.5 trillion contribution to Chuck Schumer's reelection campaign. This is what this is all about. Well, he's afraid of not being primaried by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, because if she primaries him, she will win. That's what the polls show, and he'll be out, and she will be the next senator from New York. But also other Democrats, even moderate Democrats, afraid of losing funding, from losing campaign contributions from the crazy left of their base. So we'll see. That's why they're doing this thing in the first place. So because in the past, as has been mentioned, they over a dozen times, I think 13 times, the Democrats have voted for this identical. It's just a continuing resolution. We've never had this, to my understanding. I mean, we've had government shutdowns, but over budgetary issues, where the Congress does its job, passes a budget, sends it to the president, and then the president vetoes it, and then there's an impasse there. But a continuing resolution that just keeps spending going at the current levels, and this is Biden's spending. That's why, I mean, when we were in the Biden administration, the Democrats had no problem voting for this continuing resolution, and now they are not doing it just because Trump is president. So we'll see how it shakes out. But as I said, I see, and it looks like I broke my promise again to make this one short. So, no sense making it any longer than it has to be. So that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Your comments welcome at whatever length in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. Subscribe. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.